Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gaming Pubcast, episode number 33, I believe. Duncan will correct me if I am wrong. We have been having some technical issues, haven't we, Duncan? So hopefully...
Take two, take three? I don't know.
Take two, take three, take 4, 5, whatever. But hopefully we'll get through this because we've been chatting a little bit before to make sure it wasn't happening. So basically, Duncan was just disappearing and then reappearing, but it was taking out the recording. So it was.
And now I think it's to do with the blurring effect on my camera. So everybody gets to see the crap that's in my what we call our shed. So there's the iron there. There's stuff that I've hidden under an old curtain there. I don't even know what that is. Oh, there's a bike helmet. There's
like a generation game, isn't it?
VHSs up there. Oh, they're not even mine. There's a fan here.
Cat basket.
This is our only fan. Not OnlyFans. We don't have an OnlyFans. But yeah, there's a fan here. It's literally a full. I mean, there is actually behind that Kallax there, the IKEA Kallax, there is actually a gaming area that's got like console and a big TV and a sofa and all that kind of thing. But no, I'm afraid our listeners or viewers will have to put up with that.
Well, maybe you have to do a tour one day, Duncan, and show us the proper...
no.
But in Fallout, Duncan, you could probably make a good record. A lot of duct tape.
I'd be sorted for the rest of the game, wouldn't I? I'd just pick up all the stuff in my room, sell it all.
Property, you'll be lovely. You'll be like, well, I've hit the jackpot. Anyway,
that'd be brilliant.
All good at the moment. So,
but I haven't been playing Fallout recently. So, what have you been playing? Take two.
I haven't been playing Fallout either. And I was just about to say, there's no Tom this week. Unfortunately, he's unwell, a little bit unwell himself. So let's hope next week he'll be able to come back. Yes, a special episode next week.
Special episode, Mario. Now, obviously, in our first take, you didn't know this question, but for the purposes of our viewers, hey, what do you think is special about next week in terms of Mario?
I worked it out in the end, didn't I? But I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get it. So it's Mario Day.
Mario Day is March the 10th. Yes, so we're going to have a Mario special. March 10th, Mario. So there you go. I will have a little quiz with. I've only got 5 questions, so we'll test your Mario knowledge.
What is Mario's brother called?
Well, hopefully you'd know that one, but no, I think I've made them accessible enough. But you shall find out next week.
Okay.
So there you go.
I'm gonna have to start doing some revision then this week.
Well,
in terms of
what have you been playing?
So this week I have actually been playing quite a lot of. Been doing quite a bit of gaming this week, unlike other weeks. So I had a bit of time, and mainly because I just started playing a game and I couldn't get off it. And it was when I started the game and I completed the game as well. So from start to finish, and that was Resident Evil 3, the remake, which is on Game Pass. It's also on PlayStation Plus as well.
I'm surprised that you've been able to finish that in 1 week.
It is a short game though. It took me about 6 hours to complete it. But I've just done the story, so I haven't done like all the, because you can do obviously get the collectibles and you can go and do it on different difficulties. There's a shop that opens once you complete the game as well, which then allows you to do the game again with enhancements essentially. So there's stuff they've done to sort of add to the longevity of the game, but it isn't a carbon copy of the original. It is obviously, it looks better, in my opinion. It plays better, being the remake, but it is a shorter game. A lot shorter in terms of like taking some stuff out of from the original. But like I said, I think I said it before we had the technical issues. That I've done it in about 3 sittings, and when I was on it, I just wanted to carry on because I was like, I want to know what happens next, and just wanted to just go to the next bit. But then when I did come off, I was also quite relieved because I was like, oh, I don't have to put myself
scary game. It's not a Duncan-friendly game.
Currently you're always on edge. Nemesis just pops up randomly, and it's just you have to escape and whatever, and see the boss fights with.
Because he's invincible, isn't he? You can't actually kill him. You can only stop him for a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but you do kill him at the end.
What?
Anyway, yeah, but yeah, throughout the game,
technically, the story is the same as 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah. You have this thing trying to kill you throughout. He's been designed to kill what unit you're in, and you're the only one left in that unit. So that's why he's pretty much on your back for the whole time. But no, yeah, it was really. I just
all I would say. Well, I mean, if it's kept you glued to the screen that much, I mean, it's got very good reviews, and like you said, I've played probably about an hour of it. Because there's 2 and 3 on Game Pass, and they look really good. They have that same. It's just like the little bits, like when you like the little sounds that you have are the same or similar to Resident Evil. They sound very Resident Evil-ish. So it feels like Resident Evil, even though it's control-wise, graphically, it's completely different.
Yeah, they've modernized it, but kept the Resident Evil.
Yes, the aesthetics.
The only thing I would say is just don't play it at night. That's the main thing I don't regret, because initially when I first started playing, I was playing it at, I went on it and I just played it on the night for a couple of hours. Had a really weird dreams that night, like really odd dreams, and also I walked my dog and it was.
Oh God, I can imagine.
No one around, but every time I heard a noise, I thought it was going to be.
Oh my God, the Nemesis has come to get me!
I'd have thrown my dog at it and just ran as fast as I could. But yeah, no, it's Oh,
watch out! Or Peter will be on your back.
Yeah, I wouldn't really do that to my dog. My dog would become like a zombie dog, wouldn't it? They're in
then again, I think my dog would quite happily go in front of me to bark at something. And my dog is quite placid. But yeah, if a Nemesis appeared in front of it, I think it would bark a little bit.
All the zombie dogs are Rottweilers as well, aren't they? You don't see a pug zombie dog. My dog.
A little Chihuahua.
There
was a film, I think, that had a Chihuahua. Wasn't it like Zombieland or something like that? They had a Chihuahua zombie dog. But yeah,
when they're in the mall. Is that the one?
Which one? Zombieland? No, Zombieland is the one.
Not Zombieland.
The one in the mall, Dawn of the Dead?
When they're in the mall.
Yeah,
they've got a dog in that, but I don't think it becomes a zombie. But because she gone off track a little bit here, haven't we? But there's a bit where they need to get like a note to another person, and they realise the zombies don't eat dogs. And then they send the dog over.
Oh, they send the dog through. Okay.
They do because there's a guy on the other side who's put notes and stuff. So, yeah. I have seen Zombieland as well, but the film.
No, so you definitely give it a thumbs up.
I haven't been a game like that for a while. Where, like, usually I like most games I play, but I just then end up going on another game and then I forget about it and I then come back to it and I don't stick to it until the end or whatever, just like that. But that was the only game I wanted to play because it was just.
So you're going to go backwards and go for Resident Evil 2 next?
Maybe. That's on Game Pass as well, isn't it? So
indeed.
And then Resident Evil 4's recently been released. I know obviously that isn't on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus.
No,
yet.
But I think give it a chance, give it time, and it will.
Yeah, I mean Resident Evil 4 is arguably, in some people's opinion, the best Resident Evil. I don't know what
it was
Resident Evil 2, but I think it might be Resident Evil 3 now. I've done that. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you play the Resident Evil 2 remake, you might love that one even more. Well, we'll wait and see. I await that review eagerly. Yeah.
What about you, Duncan? Enough about me. What about you?
Oh, what have I been playing? More Infinite Wealth. But I have also played Bluey to death.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and I got 1,000 points.
I played that time bit actually, Bluey, but I realised I didn't have two controllers, and one game I wanted to play on my own, so I just played one level on it. I played the one level where you collect like teddies or toys at the start.
Well, my 6-year-old did say, "Oh, can we play it on my username?" No. I'm not playing through this and not getting the game, the achievements. We're playing it on Daddy's. So I have got 1,000 points now. It's a pretty easy 1,000 points. As a game for an adult to play, yes, it's. I don't know. You'll probably agree. It's not the most fun game, but it's Bluey. It's harmless and it's got funny cutscenes that, as parents, you appreciate.
Did your son like it?
He did. He did like it. It was a bit simplistic even for him.
I wasn't.
And I mean, let's say this. He went to an arcade birthday party today that had the Mario Kart arcade game, and this kid came up to him and was just sort of like, because I beat him first, as you do as a dad. Yeah, you have to beat your 6-year-old. And this kid who was in his class came up to him and said, "Oh, I'll beat you now, Noah." And this kid went on, and Noah destroyed him. And I was like, "Yeah, that's my boy." Inside, I was like, "Yeah." This boy cried because my boy destroyed him so much. And I don't know where I got to it now, but yeah. So that's the level Bluey. That's the level that he's at with Bluey. So yeah, so he was basically, I like it, but once we completed it, he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to play this either." So it is more for the sort of 3 to 6-year-olds kind of thing, and it's an episode of Bluey basically, but a very simplistic episode of Bluey, as well as the game. Also some bugs as well. There was one bit where there was a collectible that we must have tried about 100 times to get it, and we were like, I don't know what to do. We can't get it. It was just one of the leaves or something that you could get. It was in the park, and we just couldn't get it. Couldn't get it, no matter. And in the end, we had to cancel out the game completely, and quit out the game completely and reload, and we got it in the end. So yay, we got all the achievements and all the collectibles, and yay! So very proud. I'm an awesome gamer, me, because I've got 1,000 points. Gamer score in
people don't need to know where they came from, but
I think I'm currently about 254,000, something like that.
1,000 of them have come from Bluey.
In terms of platinums, like the equivalent of platinums on PlayStation, I've probably only got about 15, 20 kind of thing. I haven't 100%ed many games, but Peppa Pig, Bluey, Paw Patrol, both Paw Patrol games, that I 100%ed them. So being a parent has its perks.
It does, yeah. I mean, even if you're not a parent, nothing's stopping you from going on Bluey, Peppa Pig, Paw Patrol.
Actually, just a game or an Xbox little rant. This isn't associated with anything. One thing that's really, really, I really want to swear right now, just really annoying me at the moment. I think Quick Resume on Xbox. Quick Resume, there's been certain games where it doesn't work. But this week, every single game that I've tried to play, there's been some kind of issue, or it's just gone, no, it doesn't work now, or the connectivity doesn't work. It's like, oh, you can't save this game, or you're not online, or or whatever. Oh, an Xbox, I don't know whether it's Xbox or the developers or whatever, but they need to fix it. Problem is, Minecraft does not work with Quick Resume on my Xbox. It's so frustrating. I have to exit out. All they need to do, Xbox, they need to allow you, because when you press start on a game on the menu, on the main dashboard, you could go to options or manage game or whatever. there needs to be an option in that to disable quick resume for certain games. Like Ubisoft games are terrible for quick resume because they load up, no problem. I don't know, you had an Xbox before, didn't you? Quick resume, it's a great thing because it means you can literally start a game and it starts. But yeah, oh god, it's Ubisoft games. Watchdog Legions, I've never completed. It was an average Watchdog game as it was, but I was enjoying it. But about 5 times I restarted that game, or technically went through quick resume, restarted it, and it wouldn't. When it came to save, it went, "We haven't saved," or it just wouldn't say that and just keep carrying on as if it auto saved. And about 3 hours later, if I was playing for 3 hours, I'd go, "Oh, I'm manually saved now because I'm finishing." No, your save has failed or whatever. And I lost 3 hours of gameplay.
Hopefully you got that off your chest, Duncan.
Oh god, it was just terrible. And this week,
hopefully Phil Spencer was watching.
Yes. Hopefully Phil Spencer takes it. Just make it so that you can disable quick resume for certain people, for certain games, and I'd do that in a heartbeat. I've probably got about 100 games installed, and maybe 20 of those have issues. So that's 80 that don't. Great, but yeah, those ones have issues where it can cause you to lose save, it can lose gameplay progress, and all sorts of things. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, Bluey. No. Bluey. It's good with your kids, not good by yourself.
Good for points as well. Game is cool.
Yeah, I've got my rant off my chest now. That's just.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, glad you did. Glad some free therapy for you as well.
If anyone else has an issue with Xbox Quick Resume, just let me know, because I sometimes think, is it just me? Is it just that my games are messing up?
And don't they take storage off for that, don't they? You lose storage.
It uses some memory. It uses very basic, a tiny amount of memory, I think, but not much. I don't think. I think it's more of, it's like a save state that you get with with some like emulation. You can save anywhere you want, but it will save literally at that point. So yeah, it's a bit like that, and it's great when it works. And obviously for online, it doesn't work very well because things have to reconnect to servers. Anyway, yeah. So I've been playing Bluey. I don't know what else I've been playing really, other than there was Return to Grace came on Game Pass. There's quite an intriguing sort of slight puzzle narrative walkathon kind of thing. Has some quite humorous bits, but it's a sort of sci-fi drama about I think it's a moon of, I want to say Jupiter, a moon of Jupiter, and there's an AI that the person wants to reactivate, and this AI was a cause of decades or centuries of peace and whatnot, but then it was basically, it caused too much peace and calmness. So it was a bit like the Matrix when they said that they made a perfect world and it just caused everybody's brains to melt. And I think that was the problem. So yeah, so this person is an explorer, and they've gone to this place where this AI is, and they're trying to reactivate it. And so there's multiple endings. It looks pretty. It's quite good. I quite enjoyed it. I played through twice to get some extra achievements and to see a different ending. And if you do go through just the story as quick as possible without exploring, without doing any options, everything, you can actually complete it in about 45 minutes. But I think the first time it took me about 2-3 hours. Looking at everything, reloading some checkpoints because I wasn't sure if I'd missed something, or I was sure that I missed something. It was good. I'd highly recommend it. It's on Game Pass. And what have you got to lose if you've got Game Pass? It's good. If you can pick it up for cheap on another form, like on another format, like PlayStation or PC, get it cheap. It's not a full price game. It's a £15 game at most, I would say. Highly recommended. Return to Grace. That was.
Fair enough. I've got Game Pass. Maybe I'll have a look at it. But
I think it might be suitable if the kids are sitting around as well. It's not a story for the kids. The kids won't get it. But most of the time, it is just walking from one place to another. So it's
Resident Evil 3 was a game I couldn't play when I.
If you're looking for the next Resident Evil, but a sci-fi one, it ain't that. It's a walking simulator kind of thing, but with a teeny tiny bit of puzzling, and a little teeny tiny bit of exploring, so you can get some bonus story bits or achievements. That's about it. Really, that's everything else that I've tried has been things I've talked about before. So nothing new, really. But
one week you will tell us that you've completed Infinite Wealth. But I don't know.
I'm avoiding the story missions because I don't want it to end because it's so good. And whether it's the Sujimon or the Dondoki Island or just the walking around and having battles and leveling up, because I have one thing about the first one that I learned was that you get to a point where you have to be at a certain level, otherwise it's just too hard to complete. So instead of that, when I first started the game, I just fought every random battle that I could, and now I'm in Hawaii and enjoying. I'm on chapter 7 or 8. I think there's 14 chapters. But I just fight as many people as I can, and I've got my levels quite high now, so that literally I think everywhere in Hawaii, I think pretty much. I've just gone back to Japan with one of the characters. But anyway, in Hawaii, every single area that I could do the auto fight, which basically means they're so low level that the game thinks, you don't want to play this one, so it just automatically completes the fight for you and says you win.
So a bit like Pokemon, where you it's best to do those battles because when you then come across a gym leader, you want your but then you get to a point where you come across a level 3 Pidgey, and it's.
I mean, if you do 20 of those Pidgeys, though, you'll get one level.
Yeah.
And the game will automatically complete them, so you don't have to worry about.
What annoys me
doing it
about Pokemon is when you'll be a level 72 Charizard or something like that, come across a level 4 Pidgey, can't be bothered to fight it, so you run away, and it goes, you got away safely, and I'm like, I'm going to go back and kill that Pidgey. Make a point, because I did not get away. I just couldn't be bothered to kill it. I didn't run away from that Pidgey. But no, it's also like MMORPGs as well. I used to play Lord of the Rings online, and when you first start the game, everything kills you, and then you get to a certain level, you go back to where you first started, and nothing. Like they don't, they just ignore you because they know you're so hard.
And that's the first game, the Yakuza Like a Dragon. That game, it was very much, it didn't matter where you were, you had to fight the full game. But generally, when you got to a certain level, all you had to do was you just sit there pressing A, and you just attacked, and you killed them. It wasn't hard. There was no challenge to it whatsoever. In certain areas of the map. But in this one, they've obviously taken feedback that people were like, "That's boring," and so all you have to do when you see someone with a blue icon over their head, when you attack them or you go their line of sight, you just press left trigger and it goes pew, 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 and that kills them. And instead of taking maybe a minute to complete it, it takes 20 seconds. So it's just a time saver, but it just means that you can go around and you can get a lot of those, and you still go up a level, but you just go up a level a lot slower. Anyway, I did that quite a lot. So everything is a bit easy at the moment. Even the story missions are rather easy. It's still. I've said it every week for about the past 4 weeks. Get it. It's such a good game. I'd highly recommend the first one. Get the first one.
Yeah, that's on
this one is a lot of the same but bigger. And the first one does a lot of the only complaints that I've seen online is that people have said that the first one has the better story. But this one is still a good story, and it's got great characters. It's got a map that constantly has loads of things in it to do. So, but yeah,
and the first one is on Game Pass as well. So
the first one is on Game Pass, and I think it's available quite cheaply on PC and Xbox. I don't know about PlayStation because they don't really do the key resellers nowadays, but it might be on PS Plus. I don't know.
Is it on PS Plus? I don't know. Actually.
PS Plus list. Anyway, so yeah, well, one thing we were talking about that we have actually talked about before was there's been more layoffs, hasn't there?
Yeah, we're looking at the news, and it's not very good news, is it? In terms of gaming at the moment, because we spoke about Xbox laying off staff last podcast. Since then, PlayStation are now laying off staff. EA are laying off staff. So, see, not a good time to work.
It's not good, is it? No. There was one tiny good news was that we were chatting about the other week. Toys for Bob, who made the most recent Crash Bandicoot, they have had layoffs. But their layoffs, I think, although it's probably not great for the people who have been laid off, their layoffs were, I think, because it got a bit bigger than they actually ever got anyway. So anyway, but they have turned into an indie studio, so they are still here. They are still existing.
Do they own the rights to?
They don't own the rights. I think. Well, also. I think Microsoft have taken on Activision Blizzard, so they will probably own the rights to Crash Bandicoot. But they
should just make up one Smash.
Well, they'd be quite clever to go, hey, you made a Crash Bandicoot game that was well received. Would you like to make another Crash Bandicoot game?
Or Toys for Bob should just make a game called Smash Randicoot or something. See if they can get away with it.
Yeah, or some bounce Red Panda. There you go. Yeah, red pandas. They're underrepresented in video games, aren't they?
Bandicoot? What animal is he?
I don't know what a bandicoot is. It's probably a marsupial, isn't it? He is a marsupial, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think he is.
I've looked. He doesn't look like a bandicoot, though, does he?
I don't. Do you know what? I don't know what a bandicoot looks like, to be honest. I'm just frantically Googling that right now.
I say that.
No, he doesn't really. I mean, for a start, he stands on two legs and wears jeans. But no, they're sort of like a mouse with a pointy snout.
I mean, but he must be. He must
so
be.
If a bandicoot stood on 2 feet, yes, he does. But they don't.
And they wore jeans as well.
And had a girlfriend that was also. Is she bandicoot as well? I don't know.
I can't remember what the girlfriend's called now, but
I'm still trying to find out if what's called it is on.
Yakuza.
Yakuza is not on PlayStation Plus, which is a shame. But you can got all the Life is Strange games though. That's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, I was just checking if Like a Dragon because it's called Like a Dragon.
It is.
I think in Japan, the previous games that we call Yakuza were the Japanese word for Like a Dragon. That's why they called it Yakuza Like a Dragon. And then now obviously that all the games are going to be called Like a Dragon because that's what they were always called in Japan. Apparently so. But yeah, so anyway, so there has been some good news, but yeah, and we were saying there's also been an EA game cancelled, hasn't there?
Yeah, so it didn't specify what, but it was a Star Wars game that has now been cancelled as a result of the staff layoff. So they were responsible for like Battlefront, weren't they, and the Jedi.
Yeah, because they lost the exclusivity contract for EA and Star Wars games ran out, I think probably about a year, 2 years ago. So yeah, and suddenly there was these other companies making Star Wars games, and I think EA have got.
There's a Star Wars game coming out this year, isn't there?
There's a few. I can't remember their names now, but they all look good. I think there might even be a Telltale one. But yeah, the fact that other people can make them or bid to make them, I presume Disney obviously have to okay them. But yeah, I think that's quite exciting for Star Wars. So I'm not particularly bothered about the game being cancelled. Obviously, it's not great for however many people they've laid off.
670. It says
600. Wow, that's a lot of people, isn't it? Really, if you think about it.
Yeah, 5% of all its employees globally.
Which doesn't make it sound like very many, but 670. If that's a good chunk. If you in your department, I don't know however many you have, but somebody in a department of your work, you might work with 10 people or 20 people or 6 people or whatever. Now imagine if there were 6 people in your department and there was 100 of your departments. That's a lot. So yeah, I do feel for it. And I mean, obviously Microsoft laid off 1,900.
And then
PlayStation
900.
Yeah, 900. So I mean, it's with thousands of people, thousands.
But all be doing different roles.
Hopefully, those that are very good and those that are good at their job, which I can imagine even though they've been laid off, there are many. Hopefully, they will find places and bring us great art, design, map design.
They might go into the indie games, very independent ones. So who knows? But
fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Not good, but
so our thoughts go out with all those people. Yes, but there is still many games coming out, and many indie games. If you want indie games, get on PC because PC is pretty much where most of the indie games are, or the indie games literally where one person's created a game. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet for news. But there has been one big game come out this week, and that's the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Have you ever played any of the Final Fantasy games?
I had one, but I can't remember which one it was.
One of the 3D ones or the 2D or
one of the it was on PlayStation 4, so it was quite recent.
Okay. Oh, so did you play was it on PlayStation 4? Was it a remake?
No, it wasn't a remake. It was a new game. Yeah.
Yeah, so was it the first Final Fantasy VII? Or
Final Fantasy? It wasn't the Final Fantasy VII.
No, so you had 13, 15. 13 technically was on PlayStation 3. 14 is the online, and then 15 is 15 is the one that came out. I want to say 7 years ago, something like that, and it was very much a very good-looking game. But yeah, it's ever since Final Fantasy 12, they've all had this kind of live battle
15.
system.
It
was 15. Yeah, I own 15 on PC and on Xbox, and I haven't been able to manage to get more than 2 hours into it. Because ever since Final Fantasy 12, they've had this 3D, this live battle system that's not the turn-based. There's many people who are like, I don't like turn-based or anything. I love turn-based because you can sit and think of your strategy, and you can build something. You haven't got to think too quickly. And in my old age, I don't want to have to think quickly. I want to be able to go, and so I haven't completed a Final Fantasy game since 12. Well, I didn't complete 12, and I didn't complete 13, 15, 16. I don't have a PlayStation 5, and 7 Remake. I've just seen that it's the same kind of thing, and it just doesn't interest me. Whereas the original Final Fantasy 7 is possibly my favourite game of all time. It's absolutely amazing for its time, but I lived through it. So I had it at the time where the CGI cutscenes were amazing, and the fact that it had like 20 mini games in it that you could do, and a whole world that had secrets, and you'd buy a magazine, or back in those days, there was very basic into it, but mostly you'd buy magazines, and you'd get secrets. You'd find out secrets from magazines, and then the internet started becoming bigger and more info, and there was so much to find. There was even things after I'd sold a PlayStation 1 and couldn't play anything, that I was still finding out secrets. And then even after you finish the game, there was bosses that you go back and complete. And, so good. And apparently Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is part 2 of a trilogy, is absolutely amazing. So it is a me thing, but I'm not interested. I'd love to play it, but it's just the battle system. I'm not interested in what I've seen. So yeah, it is a shame, because it's all the extra bits, I think, which gets it, the 9s and 10s out of 10s. And I want to do the extra bits. I just don't want to do the battling.
I understand.
So I'm losing out. But I actually can't play it anyway because I don't have PS5. But it will come to PC, I think, eventually. But yeah, I think in probably 7 years' time, there'll be the third one out, and they'll probably release all 3 as a single package, which I could then buy for £60 or something, or whatever they said it for. Oh, could you imagine that? That'll be like a 400 gigabyte install, probably.
It'd be pretty big, wouldn't it? Imagine.
But... Oh yeah. So does it interest you at all?
Probably not. No, I'll be honest. I never really been into Final Fantasy games. I haven't. To be fair, though, I haven't given them a chance. So it's not because I played them. I wasn't a bigger fan of the one I had, 15. I did try it, but other than that, I haven't really played any others. So
any other 2D?
2D? No, I don't. No. The one that came out on PlayStation 5 last year was meant to be really well received as well. So I don't know what.
Sea of Stars? That came out, I think, on all platforms, but it's on Game Pass. That's been very well received. I played a little bit of that, but that's it's not a Square Enix game. But yeah, there's quite a few. Octopath Traveler. That's another good one. I tried that and enjoyed it. I just haven't had the time to get into them, but I do like them, and I've tried to get my little boy into 2D things like Earthbound, which I think is Mother.
Final Fantasy 16 was the one that came out on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that's come out. Yeah, came out recently.
Yeah. So that was like really well reviewed. But again, I just haven't.
No, again, it's got the live battle system that I'm not. If I want an action game, I'll have an action game. Thanks. If I want a turn-based game, that is not turn-based. I've had people before. They've said, "Oh, but you can pause it, or you can have it where it pauses on battle start or at your turn or whatever." But if I want that, then why not play Baldur's Gate 3 or Yakuza Like a Dragon? Which I don't. It's a me thing. I don't want a live sort of an action Final Fantasy. I don't want that. I want the random battles. I want the bosses where we just stand apart and we go, right, your turn. And then them attack me, and them go, I'm going to attack you really strong soon. And me go, all right, I will do something to counteract that kind of thing. And yeah, I don't want to have to think fast. But,
so should we have a look at On This Day?
Oh, yes.
Wrap up, because there was some few, I say a few, there was some quite big things
big
that came out. So we'll start with today, as it is, which is the 3rd of March, what we are recording this. So 7 years ago today, the Nintendo Switch came out. And with the Nintendo Switch, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild also released with it.
Which obviously did come on your favourite, the Wii U.
Yeah. So,
but suddenly worked really well and looked a lot better.
Yeah, to be fair, it looks and works really well on the Wii U as well.
Yeah,
but
it pushed it more, didn't it?
The Nintendo Switch is still the latest console, and that was 7 years ago. So just shows how long that console's been going. I wonder if it'll be the year this year where we get a new.
Well, they reckon that it's going to be first quarter 2025. Now, it was meant to come out originally. Rumours said late 2024, holiday 2024, but it has been delayed to 2025. Which, it's Nintendo, so they're going to do that, aren't they? They're going to go, no, this isn't perfect. One thing I have noticed, Helldivers, because Helldivers 2 is become the latest obsession. The original one came out 9 years ago today. There you go. And apparently it's the developer's 15th anniversary as well. It was yesterday, I think, or something like that. So anyway. So Switch 7 years ago. Blimey, 27. Is that 2017? Was it that late? Blimey. Super Bomberman R came out with it as well. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus and. No, that wasn't. That was PlayStation 4 years ago. Ignore me. Blaster Master Zero. Blimey, came out on 3DS and Nintendo Switch. So what else? Anything else?
The PlayStation 2 came out 24 years ago tomorrow in Japan. So I don't know when it came out in the UK, but in Japan it came out 24 years ago tomorrow.
That's awesome. Well, that was the original release. So excellent. I mean, still, I think it's not the best-selling console anymore, is it? I think it's been overtaken. But still, it's in the top.
I think 3. It is. No, I think it is.
Is it still the best? Okay.
I think PS4 is second, isn't it? But I think it is still.
It was so. I know PS4 was like 50 million. I think 50-something million. which nowhere near the top, I don't think. PS4.
I think PS4's number 2, isn't it? Yeah, I'm sure.
Not in terms of all consoles, maybe in PlayStation sales.
PlayStation 2.
There you go. PlayStation 4 is 5th.
Yeah, but that's the home console though. If you take away handhelds, it's.
Oh, okay, yes. Oh, okay, yeah. PlayStation.
I didn't know Nintendo Switch is the second biggest selling. So PS2 is the number 1 of all consoles. But out of like home consoles, Nintendo Switch is second, which I didn't know. 139.
Yeah, I suppose it's a hybrid console.
Oh, yeah.
So PlayStation 2, I mean, yeah, it's still the best selling, 155 million, but that's obviously estimated kind of thing. But well, no, it's pretty much 155 million. So that's not going to be caught up by the DS because the DS isn't sold, but the Switch is still being sold. So if they can get another 16 million, it will become number 1. PlayStation 4 though has to get another 40 million. That ain't going to happen.
Keep creating editions of it because, like, they did a Zelda edition, didn't they? And they do Mario edition. So
yeah, they'll probably, hopefully, they'll discount them when it comes to the end of its life. And so they'll be able to get that highest number, take over PlayStation. Yeah. Well, PlayStation, 24 years ago, I as I think I've said before, I got one on day one, and the DVD laser was dodgy. So all the DVDs were green that I got. So we got a replacement, had the same problem again. So took it back, got the money back, and got a Dreamcast. I did get a PlayStation 2 in the end about a year and a half later, I think. So PlayStation 2, I mean, it's still, it was an amazing piece of kit for the time.
And the number of games on it is just...
And they did the same thing as they did with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 and putting Blu-ray in it. They put DVD into the PlayStation, and DVD players were £400-500 at the time, and then suddenly you could get a DVD player for, I think it was it £299, £299, something like that. So, or $299.
Because the GameCube at the time didn't have a DVD player. The Dreamcast didn't have a DVD player. The Xbox, for some reason, they decided we do have a DVD player, but you'll have to buy an extra gadget, which was the DVD remote, in order to actually use the DVD player. Was the PS2 was the only one where you could just buy the PS2 and have a DVD player. So,
it just meant that people went, I would need a DVD player. I'll buy a PlayStation 2. Even people who didn't want a game. People were buying DVD PlayStation 2s for that reason. So it was very, very good that of like marketing kind of thing. Obviously, PlayStation 3 didn't beat out Xbox 360 as much, I don't think. Hang on, I'm just checking that one out, actually. PlayStation 3. Oh, no, it has now. They're about the same. But originally it didn't because PlayStation was very expensive and all this kind of thing. But then it overtook it because it had Blu-ray. And good games as well. I'm not saying it's entirely because of that. And Xbox had the HD DVD add-on, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it was not good. It didn't have as much storage. It wasn't as high resolution and whatnot. So it just failed. Very.
Both outsold by the Wii though in that generation.
Yes, well, plenty of grandmas wanted to play tennis, didn't they? So
I'm surprised it was only 101 million, the Wii, because it seemed like everyone had, even people who didn't game had a Wii. But
I think the reason why probably it didn't was because it actually had quite a short Like, I think they just stopped making them in the end, didn't they? I think because of the Wii U. And also because a lot of people, it would be like they'd buy one for their grandma and then they would go around and play their grandma's house, and it was very much a family one, whereas your home consoles like your PlayStation 2s, your Xbox 360s, that was, if you had two kids and you had the money, it was like, okay, kid number one wants that, kid number two wants that, so you both had one. Whereas the Wii was the one that a family bought, or it was round at your nan's kind of thing.
And I don't want to talk for all gamers, but those who are actual, proper gamers at the time would have probably chosen either PlayStation 3 or 360 over the Wii, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, the Wii had great games. Yeah.
Every family seemed to have one, but not essentially every. And I had a Wii, and
it just gathered dust, really, didn't it? After
a while, there was some like Mario Galaxy, like. Amazing.
Yeah, it did have some great games, but I mean, I didn't own one, but I shared a house with a friend who did own one, and after a while, we stopped playing it. It was good. It was good fun, and if we had a few drinks, if we come home from the pub, we'd stick the Wii on, have a bit of tennis and bowling, and whatnot. And there was your Zelda games, there was your Mario games. They were great. I've got a Wii in my house.
Probably behind you.
Somewhere in there. No, this isn't my house. This is like an outbuilding. So in my house, I've got a Wii, and it's great for the kids. But we've probably turned it on twice in a year. And we like it. I don't know. It was great selling, and it's still great for if your granddad wants to play a bit of bowling and he can't get out of the house. But if you want to play Zelda and Mario, get a Switch.
Get a Switch.
So there you go.
There you go.
I think we've babbled on for quite a long time, and I've had a rant and shown everybody how much of a mess my back room is with my iron just there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, useful stuff though, because you gotta see, creasy clothes. Clothes if you don't have an iron.
It's there. This is, as I said, this is an outbuilding. I don't use them. Does this look like I use an iron? The fortunate thing of not having an official office-based job.
Yeah, I mean, I said I just happen to sit behind a wall, which you can't actually see.
As well, I'll just use the excuse that I'm a parent, and all the kids make the mess. I don't make any mess.
Exactly. Your son was putting that iron up there, wasn't he?
Yeah, totally. All that mess back there, that's the 6-year-old's fault. Obviously, people on the audio podcast can't hear this, but trust me, behind me right now is a mess. So anyway, right. So hopefully next week.
Hopefully Tom will be with us.
March the 10th, or days after, we will be having Tom with us. So if anybody wants to chat about or give us any opinions on Mario games for us to discuss, let us know.
It seems like a big topic to discuss. So
yes. Well, I'll try not to rant too much or just babble on for too long. But I probably will. Sorry. So sorry in advance.
I'm useful on a podcast to talk, so you'll forgive me.
That I can do.
On that night,
right.
Like and subscribe. See you next week. The Mario special. And
yay! March 10th.
March 10th.
Bye.
Goodbye.